It's beautiful to be back again. It's another great day on planet Earth. And the Massive Mark Schengen story, Massive Mark Nostalgia is happy to be connected again. There are countless of artists that needs to be looked into. This morning, the Nostalgia is doing it again. Godwin Iwejuwan here. And we're looking into some scores again of legends that did wonderfully well for humanity, creativity, extraordinary. And I can't do this without my own good man, my brother and friend, my colleague, Dr. Sita. Dr. Sita, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're back on again. You're back on. Dr.
Good morning, Massive Mark.
We are back to it. I mean, this year we'll be looking at real scores of legends. There are many. There are many.
And we started so well with reggae last week.
Yes, Planet Earth produced lots of beautiful creativity, human beings with knowledge of creativity, you know, sound, making noise. You know, music is noise. Organized noise. So this morning, Dr. Osita, we're looking at a genre that just carved out on its own from Africa, from Nigeria, and it's called the Afrobeat. Afrobeat. Dr. Osita, before we go into the artists, what will you say about Afrobeat?
Afrobeat is African beat, African revolution, African statements, yes, African standards. Afrobeat, it wasn't copied from anywhere. It came from our traditional instruments. It came from our voices. As a matter of fact, some of them were just storytelling, but we sold it to the world, created a sustainable brand, and it's there forever. That's the beauty of Afrobeat, and I'm proud to be African because I talk Afrobeat, I talk African, I talk myself. Thanks for asking me that question because I'm very passionate about it.
Nice. This is good, Dr. Sita. This is real good. Okay, so we're looking into Afrobeat. And we can't look into Afrobeat without talking about the originator of Afrobeat. This morning, we're looking into the great man, legend called Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti, born Olufela Olusegun Oludotun Ransome-Kuti. Wow, he has some real good Yoruba names there. Olufela Olusegun Oludotun Ransome-Kuti. Born on the 15th of October, 1938. But sadly, he passed on 2nd of August, 1997. Fela was referred to as Abami Eda. You know what that word means? A strange thing, strange creature, strange human. What is this? Like
monster.
What is this? Strange. He was really strange. Fela was a Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, the band leader, composer. He was a political activist and Pan-Africanist, regarded as the pioneer of the Afrobeat. Afrobeat, you just called it, Dr. Sita, Afrobeat, the African music. And that's a genre of that combines the Yoruba percussions with vocal styles and adding up with American funk and jazz. That makes up that beautiful genre called Afrobeat. Okay, so Fela, at the height of his popularity, was referred to as Africa's most challenging and charismatic music performer. A lot of organization has described him as a voice of international significance to humanity. Fela, from birth, was the son of a Nigerian women rights activist, Olufela Ransome-Kuti, and he had some experiences abroad. He lived abroad and that was where he formed his band, the African 70. That had a great man there. We'll talk about him also. Tony Allen. Fela shot to stardom in Nigeria during the 70s, during which he was an outspoken critic and a target of the Nigerian military rulership back then. In the 70s, he co-founded a place called the Kalakuta Republic, more like a commune of his bandmen and his wives, his family. You know,
and his fans.
Yes, he wanted to have a dependency from normal military rule and normal way people did. The commune was destroyed in 1978 in a raid by the government then, led by Muhammad Buhari. 1978, that commune was destroyed, and also again in 1984 they came to destroy it again. And that arrangement had a series of attack and destruction. But Fela continued to work stronger. He recorded and performed all through the 80s and the 90s until his death in 1977. His death was seen as a complication of issues. There are so much controversy over his death, but sadly, our man passed on. Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti. Dr. Sita, this is a legend. I mean, calling that name alone is, I mean, I'm humbled to be doing this because Fela is extraordinary. Abami Eda, a strange one, a strange creature, strange human. Dr. Sita, what do you say about the Abami Eda?
Yeah, I also remember that Fela went to jail
several times.
Fela was the people's president.
People's president. I like that word.
Fela was the man at the helms of movement of the people. Remember, with the clenched fist. This is where
M.O.P.
Yes,
movement
sir.
of the people.
Yes, sir. I remember when I used to teach. I was a young faculty member of the mass comm department, University of Lagos.
Okay.
You know, some of my colleagues then, some of them were professors already. They would say to me, "Osita, tata on Friday,
Someone.
Friday was the abyss night for for the people's president." And you sit down there. As a matter of fact, it was called your business, but it was so much teaching and learning. Fela was my teacher.
Life
Yeah.
teacher.
Most things you never could speak with your mouth. He will say it in pidgin English and it will make sense. And the way he will say it, it will stay with you forever.
Let me say this about the pidgin English and Fela. You know, interestingly, Fela spoke pidgin English like the Wafi, the Warri people, that originator of that colloquial language. And he really said it so well. Now, it is really strange because the Yorubas don't speak pidgin English like that.
No, they don't speak good pidgin.
You know?
No.
Yes.
They don't speak good
so
pidgin,
for him to understand those colloquials, those sentences, you know, and put it together to make meaning and use it to make music. That's extraordinary.
Yeah. Do you also know that some of the Yoruba I speak today I learned from Fela? You won't believe it, right? Yes. People think I speak Yoruba. No, I spoke the ones I learned from him by listening to him.
By listening.
Possible, that was how I learned it. Possible, once you listen to him, he will say it and he will translate it. That was him. That was him. The man was I don't know. He was exponential. He was larger than life. So, but one thing that was very peculiar was his discipline. You don't do nonsense.
That's a good one. But a lot of people would know this.
No, people didn't know it. If you're not close to him,
unless you visit that
if you don't know him, if you're not close to him, you won't understand that his word was law.
Yes, and
the
boys will carry out.
You can't go below expectation at the shrine and then walk away free. No, you can't diss the shrine and walk away free. So what we knew from him, for those of us who were frequenting the shrine, you have to prepare to go to the shrine. You don't just walk to the shrine because there's order.
Very good.
There's always order.
That's an aspect a lot of people need to understand.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. And then he was a businessman. He had the schedules and he respected them. That is why most African presidents who knew him came to him and they sat with him. Even foreign presidents, they came to Nigeria, listened to his music, spoke with him in person, had his philosophy, saw his intelligence, and believed that Nigeria will be great with men like this as Nigerians. So yeah, he was full of respect for himself and for the people, and people gave him respect back. What you saw as Fela was his brand.
His brand.
The brand of a great man who saved so many young people from so many things. People didn't know that too. Once you come into the Shiraz, Fela's shrine and under his ambit, you took his discipline. Most people would have gone to hell, in quotes, if not for the man himself. So yes, I thank you so much for bringing up Fela. After we talked about Bob Marley last week, it shows that 2022 is a wonderful year coming. Thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that I am the one talking about, Aníkúlápó myself, because he helped raise my thought pattern when I was a young teacher at the University of Lagos.
Wonderful. This is great. You just did it. You just pulled it out. We're talking Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti, and that's modern and if there's another word for something beyond icon, something beyond legend, I mean Fela sits on that. Fela touched the lives, and interestingly, all he said in his music, Dr. Sita, still resonates till today.
He was a philosopher, man.
Today, and it's still not been settled till today.
He was the man who saw the future.
And funny enough, Africa is still living in that same thing.
He was the man who saw the future of Africa, and he didn't stop. Yeah, he talked about it all the while. He talked about it,
and we're still going through the same thing.
Yeah.
We're still going through the same hardship. No light, no electricity, no peace. No, all he said in his songs is still happening. Is that not that's
amazing?
Oh boy,
amazing.
Fela is wonderful. Fela is he lives on. I have a lot of memories of Fela. I visited Fela on so many occasions. I visited the shrine. I saw many of the shows. There was back then. There was a program that was called, an event that they call Sunsplash, Lekki Sunsplash, and on occasions, on one or two of the Sunsplash, Fela performed, and I witnessed that also. And in fact, his later days, prior to his death, I was also I saw all that, him performing, and it was awesome. I mean, you can't imagine seeing yourself watching such an enigma, such extraordinary, out of the ordinary creature putting out creativity on stage. Every move he made was a cipher of creativity. The dance move was not ordinary. The words he spoke prior to singing, he will say some things. He will tell us things. He will say some, give you a storyline. He had fables. He had storylines. Odu. Yorubas call it Odu. Ogbodule. Odu is like a storyline that teaches a moral. And those were beautiful moments. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Dr. Sita. Yes, moving on. We are doing nostalgia. Nostalgia with Dr. Sita, looking into scores and of legends and icons that have made impact in the entertainment business, in the musical genre. And now there's somebody again in that line of Afrobeat. He said it's African beat. There's somebody that was with Fela. In fact, they collaborated together, and he was called the music director of Fela. And that was a man, not many people know about him. He's called Tony Allen. Tony Allen. Tony Allen was a drummer, the official, unofficial music director of Fela's band. And Tony Allen was also the co-creator of this genre of music called Afrobeat. Afrobeat. Tony Allen was also the originator of the Afro-funk, because he was able to mix the African beats and everything into the American funk music. Tony Allen incorporated pop, jazz, folk song, soul, makossa, hip hop, highlife, R&B, and dubbed it into music together. Collaborated with also so many people, both from the Eastern and the Western tradition, of music. Tony Allen released many music during his time with Fela, and he had so many performances. Also had so many situations like Fela. You don't work with Fela and you wouldn't have some sad moments too. Because they were speaking against powers that be. So Tony Allen had so much of that, and his listeners are mainly in France. Tony Allen has a lot of impact in France, and he came into music on his own. He taught himself music. He played the instrument at a young age. He was initially a technician in a radio station, and within a period of time, he learned the instruments, musical instruments. Tony Allen performed. Now, why I'm putting out Tony Allen today is because Tony Allen is not too known, but the real gist is that he was also a co-originator of the music Afrobeat, and we're looking into Afrobeat. Afrobeat with Tony Allen, with Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti. Tony Allen and Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti were able to do a lot. They reached out to international audience, and but sadly, Tony Allen passed away April 2020, and his legacy lives on. So we're doing this in tribute to Tony Allen also, and acknowledging that creativity in the great man. Dr. Sita, Tony Allen.
From the west, from the south to the north, not the same people.
Thank you.
Tony Allen.
Thank you.
I know you have all the.
When we say the African drums communicate, Tony led in that platform.
Okay.
Yes, he was co-creator, but they had this mutual relationship. They were friends and pals. Fela and Tony were very good friends. But until you see Tony drum, until you see Tony use the sticks on drums, you won't understand what we're saying. I don't think I know any drummer anywhere in the world that controlled sound from drums like Tony Allen, because he understood the drums. Listen, the man was what we call in broadcasting an engineering staff.
Yes.
He was a broadcaster in the engineering department of the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation. So what he did was to use his talent and intelligence to create music that came through the console. So he knew what he was doing from time. Now Tony began using his because he wrote his own songs too. He used yes. When you hear people say never expect power always, where did it come from?
Never expect power always. N.E.P.A.
Yes, N.E.P.A. Yes,
he coined that acronym.
Yes.
Wow.
And he was the no discrimination man. No discrimination. That was Tony. So when you talk about Tony Allen, you also remember people who came after him like Shegun Bucknor and co.
Yes.
They put together. They put together the.
Wow. Oh yeah. That's it. Tony Allen. Yes, we are looking into it again. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is
the musical sense.
Yes. Go ahead. Nostalgia looks back at stories and scores of global music legend, and we're looking into the Afrobeat originators. Afrobeat, the music called Afrobeat. And today we're talking Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti, Tony Allen, Dr. Sita. Are you there? Are you?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, a call was coming in. Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's it. Beautiful, Dr. Sita. Good summary of the man, Tony Allen.
We're honored by the music of Tony Allen.
Good.
Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti. We're very honored, to be part of that audience.
They created that powerful this genre, and now it's all over. Burna Boy, Wizkid are taking it to the next level. Refining Afrobeat and giving it back to the world again. And these are beautiful things they're doing. Maybe Dr. Osita, maybe our children or a generation to come will talk about them. We are talking about the originators. We're talking about
the originators. Yes. Maybe
some other people in the future will obviously give reference and tributes to Burna Boy and Wizkid. But Burna Boy, Wizkid, remember, this is where you're coming from. You're coming from the line of creators, legends, icon, and they did it so well. Now they created this platform for every other person to carry along, and also Burna Boy, Wizkid, and the likes are doing it well too. Now, also still talking Afrobeat, the African beat. There's another originator, and that's a man. Maybe some people might not know him, but I also listened to his songs back in the days. Victor Abimbola Olaiya. He sang the highlife Afrobeat. And Victor Abimbola Olaiya had the Nigerian Merit Award called OON, Order of the Niger Award. Victor Olaiya was born 1930 and he passed on February 2020. We call him Dr. Olaiya, Dr. Victor Olaiya. Dr. Victor was very good with the trumpet. He was a trumpeter who played trumpet and played the highlife style, originated that style of music, He was very famous in Nigeria in the 50s and the early 60s. Victor received a lot of recognition, and he was able to really make an impact. He made so much impact that he's called the evil genius of highlife, because he was so good at blowing the trumpet. At an early age, Victor played the trumpet, the French horn, you call it back then, pom, pom, pom. After leaving school, he moved to Lagos where he passed his school examination in the 50s and was accepted to Howard University in the United States to study civil engineering. But Victor got there, like so many stories of some of this legend, he got to America to study engineering, but instead went to study music. The parents were angry then, as usual. He played with some band, and there was a trumpeter for the old Lagos City Orchestra, and later joined the Bobby Benson Jam Section Orchestra. Bobby Benson, we'll come to Bobby Benson someday also. Bobby Benson, I listened to Bobby Benson too. In the 50s, Victor now formed his own band called the Cool Cats. Cool Cats, playing popular highlife music. His band was chosen to play at the State Ball when the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen, visited Nigeria in 1956. And he also played in so many other events. And he played also when Nigeria became an independent state in the 60s. Victor played all around, played the trumpet, and at the time he shared stage with a music man I love so much too, Louis Armstrong. Victor played with Louis Armstrong on stage. And during that time, he was given a lot of accolade for doing that. Now, Victor was honored for playing with the Nigerian Army. He played with the Nigerian Army, and later the Cool Cats traveled around Africa, traveling with the United Nations troops. And Victor played all over. He played in so many jazz festivals in the 60s and the 50s. And at a point, Victor started importing and distributing musical instruments and accessories. He was a major distributor for musical instruments and accessories in Africa. And he also established a hotel in a place called Surulere in Lagos. So Victor was the man. Victor was the pioneer of this music, this highlife, Afrobeat highlife. Victor Olaiya, Dr. Sita. I know you are as old school as Victor. So you have all the Victor gist. Give me that Victor gist, Dr. Sita.
Now, thank you, Marcel. Let's follow Victor the way he moved. First, it was the Sami Akpabod Band. Sami Akpabod Band was the band of the day.
Okay.
They played, yes. Sami led his band to entertain Nigerians everywhere, including the then what were called pioneers of Nigerian politics, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Michael Okpara. That was the audience. Then he moved to the popular Bobby B. Bobby Benson from the Benson's family. Come on. The Bobby Benson Jam Session Orchestra was the talk of the weekend in Lagos. And yes. So look at young Victor Olaiya moving from one class to another. Then the crew, they were like the what kind of group now? For us then, they were like the Beatles. They were just there, playing music that people love to listen to. Because that was what made the Beatles popular. Playing music that that people like to listen to and dance to. Like we talked about Osito Celebrate the other day. This was his class. People who played music the way people wanted to listen to them. And then when the Queen visited Nigeria, Olaiya was there to entertain, Her Royal Majesty. Move that on now to Sachimo. I'm happy you love Sachimo like I love Sachimo. Victor Olaiya has shared stage, played and performed with Sachimo himself. Then when we didn't know anything much about Nigerian Army Band, there was a Victor Olaiya entertaining the military from one mess to the other. He was the talk of the town. And then when he renamed his band, the Cool Cats, All-Stars Band. Yeah, the Cool Cats now became the All-Stars Band. All-Stars because he opened his door to other stars to play with him. And they respected him. Yeah, they respected him. He had everything that they wanted. He had leadership, he had skill, he had talent, he had the songs, and he had followership. With Olaiya's fans were so many. I am from Delta, but my late father had one-on-one friendship with Victor because I mean the man was a happy-go-lucky
I like
man.
that.
That's
That's a nice thing to say. That's a beautiful thing.
I grew up knowing them as friends. So all this influenced my love for music journalism, and it has been leading me through. I'm glad to be talking about Victor Olaiya on this program. Thank you, massive man.
We are putting it out, Dr. Osita. Dr. Osita, I'm so happy that you're who you are. You have that. You have it. You have that information base of this whole thing. So it's not coincident that you are doing this. It's not. You were built for this.
Thank you.
You were built for this.
Thank you.
It's so exciting.
Thank you.
And more to come. So, but what we're doing is looking at the originators and the key figures in all of this music genre. Today we've looked at the Afrobeat and the Afrobeat highlife. And Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti has passed it on to people now, but he was that great legend standing on it, on the Afrobeat. He created it with Tony Allen, music genius, and now Victor Olaiya. And I'm doing this, Godwin Iwejuwa is doing this with another legend there from the east, from the from the south of Nigeria, Dr. Osita. Thank you very much. Dr. Osita, on this note, we say
thank you.
See you next time till we come your way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.